But let's not pretend that this only happens in Louisiana. Let's not pretend that this only happens in the Southeast. This happens in every corner, every town in our nation. And when as an attorney I sat there representing a young man who had been tasered in the chest 3 times and once in the back, thrown to the ground and then handcuffed, lifted up by his 2 hands and walked towards a police car, well, another officer that was walking towards him punched him in the stomach and went over to get the young lady that was screaming on the corner, who was also black, who said, "You can't do that to them." I'm reminded that what happened on that street corner in the middle of downtown Seattle was a human rights violation. I'm reminded that this child's grandmother, and I call him a child because he's 20, and to me that's still a child. This child's grandmother sat silently in the back of the courtroom as 6 people that did not look like her grandson decided his future, played an irretrievable role in what and where he could be. And after 3 days of deliberation, when the jury came back and said, not guilty of obstructing justice, not guilty of resisting arrest, not guilty of assault of a police officer, the only thing that was really served in that particular case is that young man was free to go. There was no change in the system. The institutional problem remained. There was no justice served. So the question is, what do we do? What do we do even when we win and there is no justice served? And I'll tell you this, all of you turn and acknowledge that now we have a new prosecutor who's recently been elected, and what we need to do is we need to hold prosecutors accountable when these sorts of things occur, because as Brother Fuller has told me, and I have listened, Michael, those are assaults. Those are assaults on human beings. The prosecutor's office is not only there for those that have money. The prosecutor's office is supposed to be there for us and to protect all people, even when the perpetrators of the crime are police officers. And I can tell you that in this particular case, we did send a letter to Tom Carr, and we did, who is the Seattle City prosecutor, and we did tell him what the jury told us, that they thought this was a violation of civil rights, that they thought this was a case of police misconduct. And we asked him to prosecute. And I'm here to tell you all today that he declined that request. The NAACP will no longer remain silent on such things. These issues will now be a part of public discourse. Because what we realize is if those words, we hold those truths to be self-evident, are to have any meaning whatsoever, then it's going to be up to the former... I'll tell you what's going to be up to. God. It's going to be up to the ancestors of indentured servants. Go ahead. It's going to be up to the ancestors of former slaves. That's who it's going to be up to. We have to acknowledge our power. And we have to acknowledge that this is not simply an incident of Jena 6. This is an institutional problem that is stripping us all of our dignity. And until we do something about this, we are complicit. We are complicit in allowing them to strip children of their rights. People of color of their rights. Poor people of their rights. People in distant nations that are walking down the street, wherever they may be. Let's try Iraq. And a bomb drops on their family. We are complicit in that unless we stand. We are complicit in that unless we say something. Our Constitution does not allow for this. We need to make the words that were etched on paper meaningful. Even if at the time it was written, it was only an idea. Even if at the time that it was written, they still said that black people were 3/5 of human beings. We have to make those words meaningful. I didn't come here with a planned speech today. I came here with the plan of sharing with you what's in my heart and what's in the heart of the NAACP. We'll stand on Jena, not because of Jena alone, but because of the institutional harm that cases like Jena and systems that allow for such things are presenting to people of color in